The concrete slab cracks like thunder. Zubaidah Mwangi feels the balcony shift beneath her feet during what should have been a peaceful family dinner. 20 stories above Lagos traffic, the railing she's leaning against suddenly isn't there anymore. Her wine glass shatters on the pavement below before she even realizes she's falling. Strong hands grab her wrists. Someone yanks her backwards so hard she crashes into a solid chest, both of them tumbling onto the safe part of the terrace. The balcony edge crumbles away completely, taking 2 chairs and her father's favorite plant with it. "Don't move." The voice behind her is calm but firm. "Let me check if you're hurt." Her heart hammers against her ribs. She can't catch her breath. The man's hands are gentle but sure as he helps her sit up, checking her arms and shoulders for injuries. "I'm fine," she manages. "I think." That's when she really looks at him. He's covered in concrete dust. Work boots, faded jeans, a tool belt around his waist. Definitely not one of her father's dinner guests. His hands are calloused, stained with something that might be paint or sealant. "What were you doing up here?" she asks. "Checking the structural repairs on the upper floors." "Good thing, too." He glances at the destroyed balcony. This should never have happened. Someone cut corners on the reinforcement work. Taiwo Mwangi bursts through the sliding door, his face pale. "Zubaidah!" "We heard the crash." "I'm okay, Baba. This man saved me." Her father's relief transforms instantly into businessman mode. "You're the construction supervisor?" Bukola Adeyemi. He stands brushing dust from his clothes. "And no, sir, just a worker. But I know shoddy construction when I see it." Taiwo's expression sharpens. "My assistant will get your details. We'll need a full report." "Of course." Zubaidah struggles to her feet, still shaky. Bukola steadies her elbow without being asked. His touch is warm, confident. She finds herself studying his face. Strong jaw, intelligent eyes that seem to take in everything at once. "Thank you," she says quietly. "Really?" Anyone would have done the same. No, they wouldn't have been fast enough. Something passes between them. A moment that stretches longer than it should. Taiwo clears his throat. "Zubaidah, you should sit down. I'll call the doctor." "I don't need a doctor." She's still looking at Bukola. "But I could use some air. Somewhere that isn't 20 stories up." The construction worker almost smiles. "I know a place. Ground level, solid foundation. They serve decent suya if you're hungry." "I don't think that's appropriate," Taiwo begins. "Baba, please. I just want to feel normal for an hour." She turns to Bukola. "If you don't mind the company." "I finish work in 30 minutes. "I'll wait." Taiwo looks like he wants to object, but his daughter's hands are still trembling slightly. She needs space to process what just happened. And the young man did save her life. "1 hour, he says finally. "Kemi will drive you." "I can take a taxi." "Absolutely not." Bukola watches this exchange with interest. The family dynamics are obvious. Protective father, independent daughter, the kind of wealth that makes security a constant concern. "The place I mentioned is in Surulere," he tells Taiwo. "Mama Adunni's spot. Nothing fancy, but it's safe." The older man nods slowly. He knows the area. Working class, family-oriented. Not somewhere his daughter usually goes, but not dangerous either. 30 minutes, Bukola repeats, looking at Zubaidah. "I need to file the incident report first." "I'll be here." After he leaves, Taiwo studies his daughter's face. "You're sure you're not hurt?" "Just shaken up." She touches her wrist where Bukola grabbed her. "He has good reflexes. He seems competent." "Is that your way of saying he's not what you expected?" "I'm saying I'm grateful he was here." Zubaidah walks to the sliding door, careful to stay away from where the balcony used to be. Through the glass, she can see Bukola talking to other workers, gesturing at the damaged structure. His movements are precise, economical. He knows exactly what he's looking at. "Baba, what do you know about him?" "Nothing yet. But I will." "Don't investigate him like a business partner. He just saved my life." "Which is exactly why I need to know who he is." 30 minutes later, Bukola returns wearing a clean shirt and carrying a small backpack. The concrete dust is gone, but his work boots are the same. Practical, well-maintained, clearly his only pair. "Ready?" he asks. Zubaidah grabs her purse. "More than ready." As they wait for the elevator, she realizes she doesn't want to tell him who she really is. Not yet. For once, she wants to talk to someone who doesn't know about the family business, the money, the expectations. "I'm Zubaidah," she says as the elevator doors close. "I heard your father say that. What kind of work do you do, besides saving people from falling off buildings?" "Mostly structural repair. Some renovation work." He pauses. "You?" The elevator reaches the ground floor. Zubaidah takes a breath. "I work in finance. Nothing too exciting." It's not exactly a lie. She does work in finance. She just happens to own most of the company. They step out into the Lagos evening. The air is thick with humidity and car exhaust, but after 20 stories of marble and air conditioning, it feels real. "So," Bukola says, "ready to see how the other half lives?" Zubaidah looks at him walking beside her, completely unaware that she is the other half. Absolutely. What she doesn't know is that in his backpack, Bukola carries architecture textbooks and sketches for affordable housing projects. What he doesn't know is that her finance work could fund every dream he's ever had. And what neither of them knows is that his sister Kemi is watching from the building lobby, recognizing Zubaidah's face from the framed photos on her boss's desk. Mama Adunni's Suya spot sits under a cluster of umbrella trees, plastic chairs scattered around wobbly tables. The smell of grilled meat and spices cuts through the evening air. Zubaidah adjusts her silk blouse, suddenly aware she's overdressed for everything. "2 plates," Bukola tells the woman behind the grill. "Extra pepper for me, mild for the lady." "I can handle spice," Zubaidah responds quickly. He raises an eyebrow. "You sure about that? Try me." "2 extra pepper then, Mama." The older woman grins, slicing meat with practiced efficiency. Her knife moves so fast it's almost a blur. Zubaidah watches, fascinated by the skill in something so simple. They find a table near the edge of the space. Bukola pulls out a chair for her, then catches himself. "Sorry, habit from my sister. She claims I'm too formal sometimes. It's nice. Most guys my age don't bother." "What kind of guys do you usually date?" Zubaidah pauses with a piece of suya halfway to her mouth. How does she answer that? Pharmaceutical heirs. Family friends? Men her father approves of. Boring ones, apparently. The meat hits her tongue like fire. Her eyes water immediately, but she forces herself to chew and swallow. Bukola watches with obvious amusement. "Water," he offers. "I'm fine." Her voice comes out slightly strangled. "Right, you can handle spice." Despite the burning, she takes another bite. The flavor underneath the heat is incredible. Smoky, complex. Nothing like the sanitized versions served at the restaurants she usually frequents. "This is amazing," she manages. "Mama Adunni's been here 15 years. Best suya in Surulere." "You come here often?" "Few times a week. It's close to my night classes." Zubaidah sets down her skewer. "Night classes." His shoulders tense slightly. "Architecture. Part-time program at Lagos State. That's incredible. How long have you been studying?" 3 years. 2 more to go." He picks at his food. "If I can keep affording it." "What kind of architecture interests you?" Now he looks up, surprised by the question. Most people assume construction workers who take classes are just trying to become foremen. Housing. Affordable housing that doesn't look like punishment for being poor. His voice gains energy. "Lagos keeps growing, but we're building the same ugly blocks, cramming families into spaces that barely qualify as human." Zubaidah leans forward. "What would you do differently?" Bukola reaches into his backpack, pulls out a worn notebook. The pages are filled with sketches, measurements, notes in careful handwriting. Natural ventilation systems. Shared community spaces that actually work. Materials that last but don't cost everything. He flips through pages covered with detailed drawings. "Look at this. Modular design. Families can expand as they grow. Solar orientation for cooling. Rain collection systems." The sketches are beautiful. Not just functional, but thoughtful in ways that show real understanding of how people live. "These are brilliant," Zubaidah declares and means it. "You think so?" His face lights up. "Most people think I'm dreaming too big. Most people don't understand good design when they see it." "What about you? What kind of finance work do you do?" Her stomach tightens. She takes another bite of suya to buy time. "Investment stuff. Pretty dry compared to this." "Investment in what?" Technology mostly. Mobile payments, that kind of thing. It's technically true. She just leaves out the part about running the company. That's the future right there, Bukola responds. My sister works for some big fintech guy, always talking about how mobile money is changing everything for regular people. Your sister sounds smart. Kemi's the brains in the family. I just build things. Don't sell yourself short. These designs show serious intelligence. He closes the notebook, but his smile lingers. Thanks. It's nice to talk to someone who gets it. A group of young men at the next table starts arguing loudly about football. Their voices carry over the evening noise, passionate and animated. Zubaidah finds herself listening, drawn into their casual energy. You follow football? Bukola asks. Not really. I should, probably. Should? For business. Networking. Men always want to talk about sports. That's a terrible reason to watch football. What's a good reason? Because it's beautiful when it's done right, like architecture, form and function working together. She watches his face as he talks. There's an intensity there, a way of seeing connections between things that most people miss. Show me, she declares. What? Next time there's a match, show me what you see. You serious? Dead serious, he grins. All right, but I'm warning you, I get loud during games. I can handle loud. Like you can handle spice. Zubaidah laughs, reaching for her water bottle. Okay, maybe I'm still learning about spice. They talk for another hour. About Lagos traffic patterns, about buildings that work and buildings that don't, about the gap between what architects dream and what developers actually build. She finds herself forgetting to monitor her words, to calculate how much to reveal. When Bukola walks her to the main road to catch a taxi, she doesn't want the evening to end. Can I see you again? He asks. I'd like that. Tomorrow? I know a place with milder food. Tomorrow's perfect. They exchange phone numbers. As her taxi pulls away, Zubaidah watches him through the rear window. He stands under a streetlight checking his phone, completely unaware that her driver is heading toward a 20 million naira penthouse. The taxi turns the corner and he disappears from view. What she doesn't see is the small figure stepping out from behind the Suya stand. Kemi Adeyemi has been watching the entire evening, her mind racing as she recognizes the woman from the framed family photos in Taiwo Mwangi's office. Her brother just spent 2 hours flirting with one of the richest women in Lagos, and neither of them has any idea. Kemi pulls out her phone, stares at the screen for a long moment, then puts it away without making the call. Some conversations need to happen face to face. Kemi corners Bukola at the construction site the next morning, her heels clicking against concrete as she approaches. Workers pause their hammering to watch the well-dressed woman march toward their colleague. We need to talk, she announces without preamble. Bukola sets down his level. Kemi, what are you doing here? Do you know who you had dinner with last night? Zubaidah. Nice woman. Why? His sister pulls out her phone, scrolls to a photo from her boss's desk. The image shows Taiwo Mwangi with his arm around a younger woman at some corporate event. That's her, isn't it? He squints at the screen. The woman in the photo wears an expensive dress and confident smile, but the face is unmistakable. That's impossible. Brother, you're dating Zubaidah Mwangi, as in Mwangi Financial Services, as in my boss's daughter. The level slips from his hands, clattering onto the concrete floor. Around them, the construction noise continues, but everything feels suddenly muted. She said she works in finance. She owns the finance company. Bukola sits heavily on a stack of cement bags. Why didn't she tell me? Why do you think? You told her you're a construction worker taking night classes. She probably thought you'd either run away or start asking for money. I wouldn't do that. She doesn't know that yet. Across town, Zubaidah stares at her reflection in the bathroom mirror of her office suite. She's changed clothes 3 times, trying to find something that doesn't scream wealth but doesn't look like she's playing dress-up either. Her phone buzzes with a text from Bukola. Looking forward to tonight. Same time? She types back quickly. Can't wait. Then deletes it and writes, yes, see you then. Then deletes that too and settles on, perfect. Taiwo knocks on her office door. You seem distracted today. Just thinking about the quarterly projections. Is that why you've been checking your phone every 5 minutes? She sets the device face down on her desk. The construction worker from yesterday. Bukola. I'm having dinner with him tonight. Again? Is that a problem? Her father sits across from her, his expression unreadable. What do you know about him? He's smart, studying architecture, has good ideas about urban development. And? And what? Zubaidah, you're worth more money than most people see in 10 lifetimes. What does he know about your life? Nothing. And I'd like to keep it that way for now. That's not sustainable. Why not? Why can't I just be a normal person for once? Taiwo's phone rings. He glances at the screen, frowns. It's Kemi. She never calls during work hours, he answers on speaker. Yes? Mr. Mwangi, I need to speak with you privately. It's about your daughter. Zubaidah's stomach drops. Kemi, I'm right here. Oh, a long pause. Miss Zubaidah, I didn't know you were there. What about my daughter? Taiwo's voice sharpens. It's complicated, sir. Can we meet this afternoon? Tell me now. Another pause. The man she's been seeing. Bukola Adeyeme. He's my brother. The silence in the office stretches until it becomes uncomfortable. Zubaidah stares at her father, who stares back with an expression she can't read. Your brother, Taiwo states finally. Yes, sir. He doesn't know who she is. I mean, he knows now because I told him this morning, but last night he had no idea. And you didn't think to mention this yesterday? I wasn't sure how to handle it, sir. Zubaidah finds her voice. Kemi, where is he now? At the construction site. Pretty shaken up, honestly. I need to talk to him. Miss Zubaidah, maybe that's not the best idea right now. Why not? Because he's questioning everything. Whether you were laughing at him, whether this was some kind of game. Taiwo leans back in his chair. Kemi, I want to meet with your brother. This afternoon. Baba, no! Zubaidah protests quickly. This situation needs to be addressed properly. You'll intimidate him. I'll evaluate him. Same thing. Kemi's voice comes through the speaker. Mr. Mwangi, with respect, my brother isn't looking for charity or connections. He just liked your daughter. Past tense, Zubaidah asks. He's confused, Miss Zubaidah. Wouldn't you be? 3 hours later, Bukola stands outside the Mwangi Financial Services building, checking the address on his phone twice. The glass tower stretches up into the Lego sky, all clean lines and expensive materials. The lobby is marble and chrome, filled with people in suits who move with the confidence that comes from serious money. His work clothes feel suddenly inadequate, despite being his cleanest pair. Bukola Adeyemi for Mr. Mwangi, he tells the receptionist. 23rd floor. The elevator on your right. The elevator is silent except for soft jazz. He watches the floor numbers climb, each one taking him further from anything familiar. Taiwo's office overlooks half of Lagos Island. The furniture is understated but clearly expensive. Behind the desk, family photos show Zubaidah at various ages, graduation ceremonies, business events, casual moments that speak of wealth so casual it doesn't need to announce itself. Mr. Adeyemi, please sit. Bukola remains standing. Mr. Mwangi, I want you to know I had no idea who your daughter was. I believe you. I'm not after anything. I just enjoyed talking to her. What did you discuss? Architecture, design, how to build better housing for working families. Taiwo nods slowly. And what did she tell you about her work? That she's in finance. Investment stuff. She runs the Affordable Housing Initiative for this company. Has for 2 years. Bukola blinks. What? The modular designs you showed her? The community-focused development? That's exactly what she's been trying to implement. She never mentioned anything. Because she wanted to know what you thought without the influence of knowing who she is. The office door opens and Zubaidah walks in, still wearing the simple dress she finally settled on. She looks between her father and Bukola, reading the tension in the room. I see you two have met properly. Your father was just telling me about your housing initiative, Bukola responds. Were you planning to mention that? Eventually. When? She moves to stand beside her father's desk, and suddenly the family resemblance is obvious. The same direct gaze, the same way of taking up space with quiet authority. When I was sure you wouldn't change how you talked to me. You mean when you were sure I wouldn't start asking for funding? Yes. He looks between father and daughter, both watching him with identical expressions of careful assessment. "Well," he declares finally, "this changes things." "How?" Zubaidah asks. "Because now I know you've been slumming it." The words hang in the air like a challenge. Taiwo's expression hardens, but she steps forward. "Is that really what you think?" "I don't know what to think anymore." "Then maybe," interrupts a new voice from the doorway, "you should think about why she lied." Everyone turns. Chinedu Okafor stands in the entrance, his expensive suit perfectly tailored, his smile sharp as broken glass. "Hello, darling," he addresses Zubaidah. "We need to talk." Chinedu walks into the office like he owns it, nodding politely at Taiwo before fixing his attention on Zubaidah. His presence fills the room with the kind of smooth confidence that comes from never having to worry about anything. "Chinedu," she responds carefully, "what are you doing here?" "Your father called me. Said there was some confusion about our engagement that needed clearing up." Bukola's head snaps toward her. "Engagement?" "We're not engaged," she clarifies quickly. "Not officially," Chinedu agrees. "But our families have been discussing it for months. Haven't they, Uncle Taiwo?" Taiwo's jaw tightens at the familiar address. "Those were preliminary conversations." "Of course." His smile never wavers. "Nothing formal. Just two families who've known each other for years, recognizing a good partnership when they see one." He extends his hand toward Bukola. "You must be the construction worker. Chinedu Okafor. Okafor Pharmaceuticals." Bukola shakes the offered hand briefly. "Bukola Adeyemi. Adeyemi. Good family name. My father always said you can tell a man's character by his handshake." Chinedu's grip lingers a moment too long. Firm. Honest. Working man's hands. "Chinedu!" Zubaidah's voice carries a warning. "What? I respect honest labor. Not everyone can afford university after all." "I'm in university," Bukola states evenly. "Night program. Architecture. How admirable. Part-time studies while working construction. That shows real dedication." The condescension drips from every word, but his tone remains perfectly pleasant. Bukola's hands curl into fists at his sides. "Perhaps," Taiwo interrupts, "we should continue this conversation privately." "Actually," Zubaidah declares, "I think Bukola should hear this, since it apparently concerns him." She moves to stand closer to the construction worker, a subtle shift that doesn't go unnoticed by anyone in the room. "Zubaidah," Chinedu responds gently, "you're upset. I understand. Finding out someone lied about their identity would shake anyone." "Nobody lied." "Didn't he tell you he was just a construction worker?" "He is a construction worker. He's also studying architecture and has brilliant ideas about urban development." "I'm sure he does." His tone suggests the opposite. "But darling, be realistic. What kind of future can he offer you?" Bukola steps forward. "The kind where she doesn't have to pretend to be someone else." "Pretend?" Chinedu laughs. "She's Zubaidah Mwangi, heir to one of Nigeria's largest fintech companies. Why would she pretend to be anything else?" "Because maybe she wants to be seen as a person, not a bank account." "That's very romantic, but romance doesn't pay for the lifestyle she's accustomed to." "Maybe she doesn't need that lifestyle." "Have you asked her?" The question hangs in the air. Bukola looks at Zubaidah, who suddenly finds the floor very interesting. "I thought so," Chinedu observes softly. "Zubaidah, you've had your adventure, but let's be practical about this." "Don't tell me what to be practical about. Someone has to. You're talking about throwing away everything your father built for what? A few exciting evenings with someone from a completely different world." Taiwo clears his throat. "Perhaps Bukola and I should speak privately." "No," she responds firmly. "Whatever you have to say it here." "Very well." Her father turns to Bukola. "What are your intentions regarding my daughter?" "I'd like to keep seeing her. Get to know her better. And then? I don't know. We just met." "But you understand the complications." He glances around the expensive office, at Chinedu's designer suit, at the casual wealth that surrounds Zubaidah like armor. "I'm starting to." "Good." Taiwo sits behind his desk. "Because I need to know you understand what you're asking her to give up." "I'm not asking her to give up anything." "Aren't you?" If this relationship continues, she'll face constant scrutiny. People will assume you're using her. They'll question every business decision she makes, wondering if it's influenced by personal relationships. That's not my fault. No, but it will be her reality. Chinedu nods sympathetically. Uncle Taiwo is right. The social pressures alone would be enormous. And you wouldn't face those pressures? Bukola challenges him. Of course not. Our families move in the same circles. Our backgrounds complement each other. There would be no questions about motives or compatibility. Just no passion either. Passion fades, Chinedu replies reasonably. Partnership endures. Zubaidah finally looks up. Is that really what you think of me? That I'm some prize to be won by whoever offers the best partnership terms? I think you're intelligent enough to recognize reality, he answers. You have responsibilities. To your family, to the business, to the employees who depend on you. And those responsibilities mean I can't choose who I spend time with? They mean you should choose wisely. Bukola moves toward the door. Maybe I should go. Maybe you should, Taiwo agrees quietly. Baba, Zubaidah, this young man deserves honesty. As do you, her father stands. Bukola, I respect your work ethic and your ambitions, but I need to ask you directly. Are you prepared for what a relationship with my daughter actually means? I thought it meant getting to know someone I care about. It means security details. It means every restaurant you visit together will be photographed. It means people will research your family, your finances, your past relationships. It means business associates will try to use your connection to influence her decisions. His face pales slightly. All of that and more. And if I said I could handle it, I'd say you don't understand what you're agreeing to. Zubaidah watches this exchange with growing frustration. Don't I get a say in this? Of course, her father replies. But first you need to be honest with yourself about what you want. I want to make my own choices. Even if those choices hurt the people you care about. How would seeing Bukola hurt anyone? Chinedu steps forward. Because it hurts him, Zubaidah. Look at him. Everyone turns to the construction worker who stands frozen near the door. His face shows the exact moment he truly grasps the magnitude of the gap between their worlds. I need some air, he murmurs quietly. Bukola, wait. But he's already walking out, leaving her standing between her father and Chinedu, both watching her with identical expressions of patient certainty. Give him time, Chinedu suggests gently. He'll realize this is for the best. She stares at the empty doorway. And if he doesn't? Then you'll have your answer about whether he really cares about you or just the idea of you. Outside the building, Bukola pulls out his phone and dials Kemi's number. It goes straight to voicemail. He's about to try again when a black sedan pulls up to the curb. The window rolls down, revealing a man in dark glasses. Mr. Adeyemi, someone wants to speak with you. He steps back from the sedan. I don't know you. Kemi sent me. She's waiting at the coffee shop on Broad Street. Says it's urgent. The driver holds up a phone showing a text from his sister's number. Trust him. Need to talk now. Bukola hesitates, then gets in the car. 20 minutes later, he finds Kemi at a corner table, her usually perfect composure cracked around the edges. She's stirring her coffee obsessively, the spoon clinking against ceramic in a nervous rhythm. What's so urgent that you couldn't talk on the phone? Sit down first. He remains standing. Kemi, I've had enough surprises for one day. This is about Chinedu Okafor. What about him? He's not who everyone thinks he is. Now Bukola sits. Explain. His sister pulls out a manila folder, slides it across the table. I've been Mr. Mwangi's assistant for 2 years. I see everything that crosses his desk, including background checks on potential business partners. And? Chinedu's family pharmaceutical company is hemorrhaging money. Has been for 18 months. He opens the folder. Financial statements, bank records, investment reports. The numbers paint a clear picture of a business in serious decline. Why are you showing me this? Because 3 weeks ago, Chinedu started pushing hard for a formal engagement announcement. Right when his company's creditors started demanding payment. You think he's after Zubaidah's money. I think he needs it. Desperately. Bukola studies the documents. Does Taiwo know about this? Some of it, but not everything. Kemi flips to the last page. Look at this. It's a gambling debt summary from an upscale Lagos casino. Chinedu's name appears repeatedly with outstanding balances that make Bukola whistle low. How did you get this? The casino owner is one of Mr. Mwangi's clients. He mentioned it casually, thinking we already knew. So Chinedu is broke and in debt to dangerous people, and positioning himself to marry into one of Lagos's wealthiest families. He closes the folder. Why tell me? Why not go straight to Taiwo? Because I tried. He thinks I'm being dramatic. Says young men from wealthy families often have minor gambling problems. This doesn't look minor. Exactly. But he won't listen to me. I'm just the assistant. So you want me to tell him? I want you to tell Zubaidah. She'll listen to you. Will she? After today, I'm not sure she'll take my calls. Kemi leans forward. Brother, I watched you two together that first night. She looked at you like you were the most interesting person in the world. That was before she knew I knew who she was. So, you're still the same person, am I? Because sitting in that office today, I felt like exactly what Chinedu said I was. A construction worker who doesn't belong in her world. That's garbage and you know it. Is it? Look around, Kemi. Look at this folder, at the games these people play with each other. Maybe I should just walk away. And let her marry someone who's using her? He stares at the financial documents. She's smart. She'll figure it out. Will she? When everyone around her is telling her that Chinedu is the safe choice? When her own father thinks you're the problem? Back at the Mwangi Financial Building, Zubaidah paces her office while Taiwo and Chinedu discuss business partnerships as if the last hour never happened. The pharmaceutical sector is always stable, Chinedu is explaining. Even in economic downturns, people need medicine. True, Taiwo agrees, though I'd want to see detailed financials before considering any joint ventures. Of course. Complete transparency. She stops pacing. Chinedu, can I speak with you privately? Certainly. Taiwo excuses himself, leaving them alone. Chinedu immediately moves closer, his demeanor shifting to something more intimate. You're angry with me. I'm confused by you. That performance earlier, that wasn't the man I've known for months. I was protecting you. From what? From making a mistake you'd regret. She sits on the edge of her desk. What if it's not a mistake? Darling, be realistic. What do you actually know about this man? I know he saved my life. I know he has dreams and works hard to achieve them. I know he talks to me like I'm a person, not a business opportunity. And I don't. The question catches her off guard. She studies his face, looking for something she might have missed. Do you love me? She asks suddenly. Of course I do. Why? Why? He seems genuinely surprised by the question. Yes, why do you love me? Chinedu straightens his tie, a nervous gesture she's never noticed before. You're intelligent, beautiful, accomplished. We have the same background, the same values. Those are reasons to respect someone. I asked why you love me. Zubaidah, what kind of question is that? The kind someone asks when they want to know if they're loved for who they are or what they represent. Before he can answer, her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. This is Bukola. Can we meet? I have something important to show you about Chinedu. She stares at the message, aware of him watching her reaction. Work emergency? He asks. Something like that. I should go anyway. Let you process everything that happened today. He kisses her cheek, a gesture that feels more formal than affectionate. Think about what I said, Zubaidah. About choosing wisely. After he leaves, she texts back. Where? The response comes immediately. Mama Adunni's, 1 hour. She grabs her purse and heads for the elevator, ignoring her father's questioning look as she passes his office. An hour later, she finds Bukola at the same table where they sat 2 nights ago. The manila folder sits between them like evidence in a trial. You came, he observes. You said it was important. It is. He slides the folder toward her. Kemi found this. About Chinedu. She opens the folder, her expression growing darker with each page. When she reaches the gambling debts, she sits back hard in her chair. Where did this come from? Your father's files. Kemi's been trying to tell him, but he won't listen. These numbers, if this is accurate, Chinedu's family is bankrupt. And he owes serious money to people who don't accept late payments. She closes the folder. So his sudden interest in formalizing our engagement has nothing to do with love. They sit in silence, the weight of the revelation settling between them. Around them, the evening crowd fills Mama Adunni's with laughter and conversation, but their table feels isolated. "I'm sorry," Bukola states finally. "For what? For being right about him being the safe choice? You weren't right. Safe would be someone who doesn't lie about their motives." "So what happens now?" She looks at him across the table. This man who saved her life and then complicated it in ways she never expected. Now I have to figure out who I can trust. And whether someone who challenges me is more dangerous than someone who's using me. He reaches across the table, covers her hand with his. "For what it's worth, I never wanted to complicate your life. Maybe my life needed complicating." They're interrupted by the sound of screeching tires. A black SUV pulls up outside Mama Adunni's, and three men in expensive suits get out. Bukola recognizes one of them from the casino photos in Kemi's folder. "A Zubaidah," he warns quietly. "We need to leave. Now."